working on a very unique project where we're trying to see if we can take the waste streams that absolutely have really low value or no value at all. We're trying to convert them into green endpoints using the technologies that are worldwide, either in academia or just in the nascent stage of development. Bring it into India and indigenize it, so that we have a really unique green endpoints.
Which got us in touch with Indian Institute of Millet Research and helped a lot with marketing and creating a business model.
Right now, we're really happy to be associated with Rich and with our future planning of the company and how it's going about at the moment.
After showcasing our technology across the globe, in India we try to make available the technology to the end user, the farmer. And that's where the Rich has played a very important role for us to connect with the policymakers, industry and academics.
As a startup, we reached out to Rich for mentoring us in terms of commercializing our product. Currently, over 35,000 farmers are using our platform, represented by 25 plus FPOs. We have recently signed up with a Dubai-based investment firm and are signing a JV with a global organization.
In a span of 1 year, Rich has collaborated with 20 plus partners, met with 250 plus entities, assisted 25 plus startups, and facilitated 10 business partnerships. And this is just the beginning.
A lot has happened in the last 1 year. Today I'm even more confident that we'll be able to help create more than 10 unicorns very soon. The road for us is very clear. In agriculture, for example, we need to showcase new technologies like greenhouses, aquaponics, hydroponics, and a whole lot of other things. And in biotech, we really need to give young startups the capability to produce their product on a large enough scale to enter the market. So there's a lot more that needs to be done. But I'm even more excited than I was last year. After having looked at the kind of talent that we have in our institutions and in our startup communities, I'm very, very excited. Join us on this long journey.
Honorable Minister Sri.KT Rama, Principal Secretary Sri Jayesh Ranjan, dignitaries and dear friends, a very warm welcome to all of you on this occasion of Rich's first anniversary celebration. In keeping with Telangana government's vision of changing the innovation landscape in the state, Rich was conceptualized and launched a year back in February last year. Every new initiative has its own unique story, and I'm very delighted to have this opportunity to share with you our journey of last year. In the next few minutes, I'll take you through various activities that took place at Rich. When we started, we believed the best thing to do was, or the best thing to begin with, was to reach out to as many people as possible. It could be any person who is a stakeholder in this ecosystem. It involves scientists at the research institutes, professors at the academic institutes, large and small companies, or a budding entrepreneur. Effectively, any individual who plays a role in furthering innovation and research in any capacity. The idea here was to understand what are the research areas, what are the product offerings, their requirements, what challenges they face, and what exactly needs to be done. So as a part of this process, in the last few months, we've been able to reach out to over 250 entities, which includes international and local institutes, companies, industry bodies and associations, consulting firms, and startups. So far, Rich has facilitated or Rich has assisted over 25 startups in various ways, like connecting them to the right people, providing mentoring, helping them in scaling up, providing technical or managerial advice, and the like. And through all these efforts, we've been able to facilitate 10 business partnerships, which I'm sure have definitely enhanced the entity's capabilities. Rich is very proud to have on board these partners from industry, academia, and research. It is only with the help and support of these partners will Rich be able to achieve its goals. So, what did we learn from all these meetings and associations that we had in the last few months? Actually, a lot of things. First of all, it was very heartening to know that there is a great deal of positivity and eagerness for collaboration, and its need cannot be emphasized enough. There were few other very predominant and recurring insights that we got from these meetings. For example, people talked about the difficult and time-consuming nature of the regulatory approval processes and how important it is to streamline these processes as early as possible. And interestingly, this was also a point of central point of discussion at yesterday's CEO conclave talk. And during these meetings, people also talked about the big gap that exists between the product and the go-to-market stage. There were other concerns like lack of information about what capabilities and expertise is available at these outstanding research institutions which are present in Hyderabad. Lack of knowledge about government schemes, intellectual properties, funding options were other major concerns. Also, in some sectors, there is actually a very fewer funding options available. And one of the major concerns for the life sciences sector was lack of trained manpower. Ironically, all these concerns have been around for a long time now, but at the same time, they are all as relevant today as they were a few years back. So Rich's attempt is to direct our activities with a focus on these areas. So here's a glimpse of the few startups and companies that Rich has assisted. These belong to diverse sectors like food, agriculture, biotech, waste management, manufacturing, and others. Rich facilitated a business partnership between Bioprime Agri-Solutions and Delta Agri-Genetics for marketing Bioprime's products, such as nano-pesticides, nano-fertilizers, and Bioprime now plans to market its products further into 11 other states across the country. Nucleome Informatics, which is into genomics and molecular diagnostics, they have an ambitious plan of setting up a facility in Hyderabad, and Rich is helping them in their expansion plans and also in creating a proposal for a possible collaboration with the government. Usually, the power of a small advice or guidance is often underestimated, but when it comes to taking the business forward from its initial stages, it goes a long way. So here are the few business alliances facilitated by Rich. Among them, PAL's Global Solution came up with a very unique mobile platform called HICC Next for farmers. Rich's support helped them get an investment worth $5 million from a Dubai-based investment company. And currently, there are about 35,000 farmers on board on KT Next. And PAS Global Solutions' next plan is to reach out to 5 million farmers in the next 5 years across 22 countries. Another company, ATGC Biotech, has some very interesting pheromone-based products which are used in integrated pest management. Rich helped them connect, Rich is planning and working with them to connect them to industry players for marketing of their products. These products, they find application in health as well as in agriculture. And only yesterday we got to know that they also got an interesting offer from one of the state governments to sign an MOU with them for their mosquito repellent products and agriculture product. So these are just a few examples of the many that Rich has worked with or assisted. But instead of we making more claims about what we have done, let us ask the 3 startups themselves. May I request Dr. Subhadra of Transcell Biologics to please come forward. Thank you.
Good morning. Let me thank Dr. Ajit, to have kindly given this platform to just share a very short presentation on my group of startups. I must say that, very true to the theme that my company is into, stem cell research and applications. I feel that, it is the most fortunate enterprises, with complete support of the stakeholders, to split my company into 3 companies. So, again, because I'm sure, the biotechnologists in the audience for sure understand that a stem cell would have the property to become lineage-specific types. My company also, has kind of become 3 companies, and all the 3 companies happen to be 100% wholly owned subsidiaries of the parent entity. So I happen to be a scientist and a hardcore experimentalist and entrepreneur running this group of companies called Transcell. And then I always felt that Transcell is not just a company, it is a journey. And then the fundamental theme of this group of companies happen to be anything to do with stem cells and then the intended applications. I can't see. So the vision of my company happens to be translating adult stem cell technologies prowess into clinical reality. So this is the vision, and then we sincerely believe that it has got the power to translate. I'm okay. I think I'm loud enough. Yeah. And then the mission of the company is to empower the patient with the advancements of the stem cell technologies and to integrate the advancements into the healthcare applications. And we also totally believe that, to provide modern options to manage the disease conditions. And we always have been focusing on 2 important disease conditions. One is cancers and the other one is neuromuscular diseases. The unique proposition of my setup is that the founding, people happen to be technocrats and then scientists, and then we always believed in collaborating with the practitioners. And again, practitioners in my context happen to be both research as well as clinical practitioners. So the first company, Transcell Biologics, we have 3 products in pipeline addressing periodontal diseases and also allogenic products to address ovarian cancers. And then the fundamental novel stem cell formulation to address muscular dystrophies. And then we have an in-house R&D program, because we always believe that, like, it has to be R&D spun productization, even in this very, investment intensive domain, which happens to be stem cell research. So we have a neuro program wherein we are hunting for novel first-in-class molecules that would have neuroprotective and neurogenerating properties, as well as, like, addressing the neurodegeneration of the disease biology. And the other entity, Transcell BioLife, is a biobank. So I sincerely believe that, like, it is a very unique kind of an establishment, being one of its kind, offering not just the precious sample storage. We also have been storing the big data, which is to do with the stem cell genomics and stem cell proteomics. Again, like, the facilities, we happen to run it from one of the industrial estates in Hyderabad, ELIP. And then again, like, we believed that, like, from this biobank, we can offer the personalizing medicine, predictive medicine, and then regenerative medicine. So the last one is Transcell Oncologics, and then I'm very proud to share with you that, like, we are developing next-gen complex druggable molecules to cure cancer. So this is again like a very unique kind of program that we have, and then we work on first-in-class molecules, and then the property of these molecules we are testing on cancer stem cells in our laboratory, and we have some early breakthrough data as well. So we are good in terms of our technology, as well as, like, the collaborations nicely facilitated by RICH. Yeah, thank you.
I would like to invite Dr. Satyajit Mahapatra of Exhibit to present his talk.
Hi, good morning. I'm Satyajit, the founder of Exhibit Systems. And before I really get into, I would like to thank Bhuveshwar and Ajit sir for giving me this opportunity and incubating us in REACH. Probably I'll take this pride that currently probably every client of us knows that we are being supported by REACH or a initiative of Government of Telangana, and that's a good thing that probably we have spread out in a lot manner. So we'll just go into what, in a small way, what we do. We are basically a technology platform for agriculture or enabling smart precision farming. So we are a cloud and IoT based platform. So what we bring is, we bring a hardware. For everyone else, I'll just hold it for a few seconds. So this is hardware. And so this is one of our device which is capable to literally, you can start it anywhere within 5 minutes of time. Basically, I carried it today morning with one of my 40 centimeter trolley bag, and assembled it here itself, and then it's now ready to function. Probably if because I traveled over air, so I couldn't have the battery inside, otherwise I could have switched it on, and in next 15 minutes we could have started understanding the ambient conditions of this room and probably automate all of these lights and AC through this. But we apply this science onto agriculture. So what we primarily make is, we make agricultural science simple. We do not claim ourselves to the agricultural experts. Rather, we are on to an objective of making the precision science of agriculture being understandable and making it easy for the different stakeholders at the lowest level, easily achievable or digestible. So we make it on regional language. We operate in Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, Hindi, Odia, Malayalam, on all possible things, so that a scientist, so basically as we see a doctor being with MRI scanners, CT scans and everything, so when we go to them, they just don't give us a medicine based on our symptoms. I'll come, sir. So basically they understand the important vitals of the human, your behavior, your food practice and everything, and then they come back to some medicine. So similarly, we are trying to understand everything from the crop, field, microclimate, soil side. So this machine, this hardware consists of 12 different sensors, a 5 megapixel camera capable to run, pick up the data, send it to our cloud servers, make the analytics, and then send the actionable insight back to this machine. And that's the USP of the machine. And then, as I said, we can control any of the remote activities like running your irrigation, fertilizer applications, your sprinklers, your foggers, anything that you want to control or create a conducive environment, so that we can do. And the data that we collect can be used further for your pest and disease understanding or preempting your harvest readiness and all. So overall, as I said, the objective here is for smart sensing and monitoring, smart crop analytics, and smart control system. So when we say smart control system, it's majorly software driven. It's not a hardware based system. So how we do that, or what the core of our planning is, we focus on this primary 4 things. First, we have to observe. So that's been done 24/7 by our hardware. Then you interact, which is done by our mobile platform and our cloud platforms to interact over SMS and push notifications on a regional language basis things to the farmers and other stakeholders. So it continuously interacts from the field to the stakeholders, and then collect all the data and automatically analyze it and create patterns, understand patterns, give you the reports of patterns. And then basically the idea is, once we have all of that, then instead of racing against climate change, let's adapt the climate change and do something smart. So that's the primary idea of our startup. So in this journey, so we are lucky to have Reach with us. So the journey started like 3.5 years back. We got acceleration support from ISB, and from there we got the support from Reach. So basically for last 2.5 years, probably from various forums, at least from under government of Telangana or from Telangana state, we have got a lot of things. So probably as in future, we'll definitely look forward for a payback. So from the Reach, the experience of our association in last probably being Reach itself, like I think probably we started interacting with them 8 to 9 months back. And the most important factor, as I said, which gives us a higher satisfaction or thing, is they understood that startup is not all about that particular idea and all, because if we have started with that idea taking 2-3 years of time, and when probably Dr. Ajit and Bhuvesh met us, so that's instead of they criving around the idea, they started us asking, what's the problem, where is to reach the customer, what is your target segment, how you will sustain, how you will create a business, how you will reach to multiple stakeholders, and how you will expand. So these are the questions we worked with Reach, and then with the market connect, with the domain knowledge, as being Dr. Bhuvesh is there. So that gives us a kind of assurance that when we speak to different stakeholders in multiple other places or to a customer, we proudly say we have been supported by Reach, which is a government of Telangana supported this thing, and so you don't have to worry or understand about from where we'll get you a scientist or a knowledge about a particular thing. So from there, as we started, while we have started with Reach, probably we, at that point of time, we had 10 customers. Currently, we have 25 customers. We started with somewhere around 7,500 farmers in 5 different states, which currently has already gone up to 12,000 farmers, and from 15,000 acres, currently somewhere around 35,000 acres that we are operating and monitoring at. And so now we have already started initiating and getting interest from different Africa and countries like Kenya, Nigeria, and all of that. So and again, a major part of that again goes back to Reach, because they have connected it to ICRISAT, and then from there, the scientists of ICRISAT and all have helped us to further improvise and take it further. So for that, thank you very much, Reach. And so before I end, I will just show you some live videos of the implementations. So this is something here in Telangana in ICRISAT. So this is for the millet research which has been used. So we collect meticulous data about all the field conditions and crop conditions, and the scientists use our platform to have a look at that. This is somewhere in Karnataka for a sugarcane farmer.
ರೈತರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತು ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ರೈತರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಕಬ್ಬು ಹಾಕೋಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬ ಅನುಕೂಲವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇಷ್ಟಿಂದ ಇದು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಪಡ್ಕೊತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು.
So this is somewhere in Kerala for tea plantations. Automations based on our IoT platform, we are controlling this valve. Automating a greenhouse, and it's a motor, and it's a drip irrigation and fertilizer systems. So it's all on a real-time data-oriented manner. So this is our software analytic things, which is on cloud and on mobile platforms. This brings the complete state or implementable places onto a GIS platform. So everyone sitting at one place can monitor all their farmers and what they are doing and how is their crop performing. This is basically a predictive analysis to understand the crop readiness. To all our activities, that next time they will be dealing with the corridor, they are using mobile app and data and So this is like your ISO standards in manufacturing. We are now bringing those kind of standards onto the agri field, which you can program it on our software. This is an Android app. From the hardware aspect, at Patent in India probably very unique, very loved. So on the mobile app and the software platform, you will find at least 25 such apps and things. But when it's about every 5-minute data collections and predicting based on the no, so we are like currently I'm within the India. So if you talk, then probably yes, we will have some competitions in Israel and US and Canada. Absolutely. Thank you very much.
I now invite Dr. Roshan Miranda of Waste Ventures India to come forward for his presentation.
Thanks to Rich for the opportunity here. Well, I think I'm going to talk about my first meeting with Ajit when he came to our Waste Ventures India. He told me, he looked at what we do. We manage around 200 tons of waste per month. In the larger scheme of things, considering what Hyderabad produces, it's not much. But considering where we started, it's significantly high for us. Now, Ajit came and then said in his own, he speaks good Hindi, and then in his own Hindi tone, he looked at everything and said, "Sala isko next level pe leke jana padega." So that is exactly, I think, what we will end up doing with Rich. And with that context, I want to start. So, waste is a perennial problem and an impending problem. I don't want to talk to you about it. You all know about it. You have learned about it and so on. So, but I think few things to drag your attention to is when you compare waste management in India to waste management elsewhere in the developed countries, there's a little bit of a difference there. In the developed countries, their focus needs to be on technology, and their focus needs to be how to use the waste to the best extent. Now, when it comes to India, we also have to take a social angle to it. Because today, in Hyderabad itself, there are around 7,000 to 10,000 waste pickers who work on waste management. And if you look at Bangalore, there are 15,000 waste pickers. So we need to be inclusive of these waste pickers when we think of the solutions to waste. We cannot be replacing them, right? So that needs to be very critical to our solutions. And that is something we keep thinking about. And when we think about what solutions we should be providing, one of the solutions we provide is in case, there has been a lot of word about segregation of waste, and KT has recently made everyone to take pledge. He himself took one on segregation of waste from wet and dry. Now, if you were segregating your waste today, and you need to see, hey, when I segregate that waste, I give it to a guy who comes and mixes it and then takes it away. I feel like my efforts have been futile. Now, we have one solution to people who are segregating waste. Now, this solution is called Toter. You can all go to www.toter.in and book your pickup if you need to try it out. Please do try us out. Here we take all kinds of waste from you. It can be your Maggi wrapper, it can be a chocolate wrapper, it can be a chips packet, it can be any of the type of waste, any paper, any kind of plastic. But now, we do collaborate with waste pickers and scrap dealers in your local area, and the pickup we get are actually transferred to them. They come and do the pickups from you. So here, instead of replacing them, we have leveraged their network because they know exactly how to do this waste management and plug their expertise in at the place where we find it really less economical to do it. For example, for our vehicle to go each door and every business to pick it up, it would be very expensive. But these guys have figured it out. They know how to make it happen. And we are inclusive of them, and we leverage that network from them. Now, that is for you guys who have individual houses, or rather, if you want it for your houses or if you have smaller businesses. We also work with multiple other corporate clients. Google was one of the first clients to try us out. I guess you expect that from Google, to work with a startup. We were providing them a solution. Initially, they used to recycle 6 tons of waste, and after they started with us, they started recycling 10.5 tons of waste every month. Now, their recycling went up by 60%. And similarly, we had Infosys and other guys who have tried us out. It's been a fantastic experience working with these corporates and trying to avert their waste from going into landfill. We also work with 22,000 households, and also our Toter has been working with both the corporates and the households there. Now, I think one area which is really exciting for us to work with is we also work with 1,500 waste pickers across Hyderabad. Now, here, we are currently leveraging the existing technologies in India. The way we are thinking about is when we go to waste pickers into their colonies, when we say, what all do you pick? They show us all the high value plastics and paper that they already pick. So today, of the 100% of the recyclables that you produce in your houses, 50 to 60% is already recycled. And that is precisely the reason why India stands higher than the United States in terms of recycling. It's because these waste pickers take out 50 to 60% of that high valuable items, and then they recycle it because that provides some livelihood. Now, where we need to intervene is in the remaining 40 to 50% of the waste. That's exactly where the intervention needs to happen. So there we partnered with Tetra Pak, Hindustan Unilever, Dr. Reddy's, and other folks, and also Coca-Cola here, to see how can we add value to that waste. To give you an example, today a waste picker who is in near HICC City, Nanakram Goda, Avispet, anywhere in Hyderabad who work with us, they earn around 700 rupees per week. Right? This is an average earning. And through our interventions, they earn 100 rupees more or 200 rupees more, some of them. For us, 100, 200 rupees is probably not much, but for these communities, it's really high value. It adds 15 to 20% income for them. Now, when we think of providing or adding value to these waste streams that are not picked by them so that they would earn more money, we have exhausted all kinds of technologies that are available today, and we need to take it to the next level. This is where Ajit's words will probably come into fruition, and that's where our work with Rich is going to be very exciting for us. Now, the way we are thinking about this is, let's talk about low-value waste and identify green endpoints that cannot be imagined with waste. Now, today, can you imagine a glass bottle and your chips packet waste? You combine them together and produce an output that might be used in aerospace engineering. That is not thought about. That is something we're thinking about. And then maybe take out the plastics that these waste pickers pick up and then give it to us and see if we can produce 3D printing filaments. Right? The next level is, can we be in urban mining where we take the e-waste produced, there is humongous amount of e-waste produced, and we also have signed MOU with the government of Telangana for management of e-waste as well as to formalize the waste pickers. Can we take the e-waste collected by these waste pickers and start urban mining in a big way so that we are not only providing value to waste, but also potentially recruit these waste pickers into the stream. Because today we recruit 17 waste pickers amongst our 80 workers we have in our 2 warehouses. And they know value of waste really well. They know how to work with it really well. There is a knowledge space there, and we have to leverage that. I think recruiting them into our work we do and being inclusive of them will be a big part of what we do with RICH. And I'm really thrilled to be working with RICH and other knowledge partners and bring this innovation, indigenization of technology into India, and then take it to the next level, like Ajit mentioned. Thank you for the opportunity, and I look forward to our work with RICH.
So thank you, all of you. I said I wanted to really showcase what these young technologies, and these are just 3 that we brought to you. Believe you me, there are more than 20, 25 that we've worked with, all exciting, all doing some incredibly good work. So what next? So we see, one of the things is obviously that list that Rohini put forward and talked about, that all of those areas are the areas that need to be plugged by us, and that's what RICH will do. But there are 2 or 3 very specific things that we want to do. Oops. Yeah. All right. So one big initiative is how do we get value from waste, and that is going to be our next big thing that we hope to focus on for the next year. And how do we really not just recover value from waste, but also generate employment really at the bottom of the pyramid. The second, which I think is a very exciting opportunity also, most of our farmers are marginal farmers and small farmers. And it's unfair to expect them to change without giving them a chance to see things, without giving them a chance to showcase, and without showing them how they can do a value add. So some of the value add like hydroponics, aquaponics, greenhouses, etc., we are working with the Telangana government to really set up a park where people can see for themselves, they can play around. There are tinkering labs for scientists. There are no tinkering labs for farmers. That's just ridiculous. The farmers need tinkering lab more than anything else. Right? So this is the other thing. The third thing, and it's interesting that a lot of it got talked to. Yesterday I was in the BIRAC IKP. I kept it at IKP, please. BIRAC and IKP meeting, where one of the things that got talked about was in biologics, how do we have a common facility where many people can manufacture, try out, do different things? And this is becoming very, very interesting. So the single-use manufacturing platform, how can we really allow companies, and this could even be useful for companies who are manufacturing or who want to manufacture small quantities of a product. There are now technologies where you can use, is practically discardable. Each one goes, you use it for a while and then go back. Because as startups scale up, they need to demonstrate and understand their ability to produce in large quantities. And you simply cannot afford to set up individual facilities for that. So this is going to be another very, very exciting thing that we have to look at. The fourth thing we have to look at, and I will not talk about all of this, but I'll certainly talk about the database. And again, this came up at the IKP BIRAC meeting. Today, we simply do not know who is doing what and where. What kind of facilities are available? What do research institutions have? What kind of equipment do they have? What kind of people do they have who are willing to collaborate? And even in a city like Hyderabad, where we are trying to set up one of the first oncology conferences where all the research institutions and industry comes together, hopefully in a month or 2, it is so little known and shared about each other. So the more we share, the more we collaborate with each other. And this was yesterday's conference.
this was 65% of people said that lack of collaboration is our single biggest hindrance, and that's what we intend to. So those are going to be our activities for the next year. I need your help. I need your support. I need your active participation. Right? Please come and join us, because I really think this is a phenomenal idea. This is a tremendous time for us to do it. And together, if we do it, I think we will make a big difference to our society. Thank you. May I now request the Honorable Minister to please come and talk to us. Thank you.
This has been bothering me for a while, so I have that OCD problem as well. Everything has to be in order. Thank you, Ajit. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Congratulations on completing the first year. Jayesh, and to the entire galaxy of institutions represented, to the partners of RICH, to my friends from the media. My compliments to everybody who's participated in the growth story of RICH over the last 1 year. Ajit, I think you're still married? Ajit, she's here, okay. Okay, let's make sure that we say all the right things then. Ajit, as you know, in marriage they say after first anniversary means your honeymoon is over. So what I'm trying to actually say is, first anniversary is a great thing. You've achieved, I think, some remarkable things. In fact, the 3 guys who presented, the lady and the 2 gentlemen, I think one was in cell sciences, another was in agriculture and IoT, a convergence of that, and the third one, amazing story, waste, how it is being leveraged and how the network of rack pickers is leveraged. It's fabulous, just a fabulous story. So delighted that you could actually make an impact, because that has been the theme of RICH. Innovate, integrate, and impact. In fact, as they say, there are 6 degrees of separation when it comes to people. Anywhere in the world, any person can be connected to another person if you are able to connect about 6 dots. I think the idea of RICH was to lessen the number of dots, make sure that our scientific institutions, make sure that our industry partners, our startups and our vibrant youngsters are all connected to each other through RICH. That could be the single dot that could connect all these different people and enable them to actually cut short the learning curve and come out with something really fruitful for the society. So I'm delighted with the kind of success you've already had, but I think now is the time to really go to the next level. You talked about an agri-tech park, you talked about CEO forums, you talked about additive manufacturing, you talked about some really, really nice things. I think all of which are eminently doable and all of which possibly are being done by somebody else that we already know. So it's again, once again, I go back to the same point. Telangana government in the last 3.5 years has come out with some really unique initiatives. T-Hub, for one, has been a remarkable success story, and we have some remarkable people running it. Then we have of course, RICH, whose first anniversary we are completing today. Then we have T-Works, a new prototyping lab that is coming up again by the middle of this year. Again, that can be used for a lot of the things you spoke about as well. We have Industrial Health Clinic also to come to the rescue of our small and medium entrepreneurs. And then we have some very focused efforts. For instance, Genome Valley 2.0 we talked about. Dipanvita is here, IKP is represented here. So we are expanding the Genome Valley, ensuring that our life sciences ecosystem grows that much more stronger. Leveraging on the same trajectory, we are talking about Hyderabad Pharma City coming up, which is at a very advanced stage now. So is the case with medical devices manufacturing. This morning we had Mr. Suresh Prabhu, our Commerce Minister. He spoke about the opportunity in predictive medicine, genomics, medtech, medical devices manufacturing. So these are all extremely exciting areas to be talking about from the Indian perspective, not just from the perspective of Telangana. And I do believe that RICH has in it itself to be able to not just confine itself to Telangana, but eventually grow into something which could be of great value to the entire country as well. And I'm very, very confident with the kind of success you've achieved with very limited resources, I must add. In fact, Ajit, the great thing about him is we all know him as the gentleman who's run Indian School of Business extremely successfully. In fact, my first interaction with him, one of my first interactions with him, the second day after I became a minister, I took charge of my office. I showed up at his office. I said, Ajit, I need your help. I need you to guide this new state of Telangana, because there is a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of things being talked about, so I need some expert advice, I need some institutional support, I need all of your intelligence, and I need all of that translated into some actionable items which can be implemented by government of Telangana. Not only him, but IIT, IIT, the entire industry ecosystem here has been tremendous partners and have been really, really supporting the government in whatever initiative we've conceived, thought about. They've readily agreed, readily joined on, and that is possibly why Telangana today is looked at as one of the most progressive states in India. In terms of its consultative approach, our Chief Minister has given us a lot of freedom with respect to how we wanted to go about all these new initiatives. But I do believe, Ajit, that all the things that you mentioned on the first anniversary of RICH will be and shall be supported fully by Government of Telangana, our unstinted support, our unstinted backing, in terms of resources as well. In terms of resources as well, because you need to scale up as well, I think we'll be with you. And I'd love to talk more about all the 25 different entities that you're supporting. Some of them could scale up in Telangana because our manufacturing policies, our industrial policies, our sectoral policies are extremely strong for them to scale up and set up more operations here. So the last I you mentioned, innovate, integrate, which is what you're doing already, the impact on society, the impact on India, which is to come out in days to come, I would believe is going to make a very strong statement. And I do hope, like I said, very, very strongly and from the bottom of my heart, that this institution will grow into an institution of eminence and excellence, which will cater to the needs of our very, very, a country with great deal of potential, that is India. And I do wish the entire team of RICH all the very best, and our unstinted support and continuous support will be there with you. Compliments. Bye.
So I want to do a slightly different thank you. There is one of the startups that we supported, Jersh. They're doing helmet ones, even in nose. But very sweet. He came to me and says, look, for thanking the Telangana government for being such a support to us, I want to donate 20 helmets to the traffic police and to the emergency. So I would like.
I don't know, why don't you tell them what the helmet is all about?
We'll bring it here. So I've got Kaustubh here. This is, so they have, so this is a helmet, which is basically, put it simple ways, is an air-conditioned helmet. So for people who are working in heat, this is, at least it keeps your head cool.
Yeah, I've tried it, and I've also checked with them, even before I tried it, to make sure that it actually does not cause more hair loss. Because typically helmets do that. So they told me, they promised me that no hair loss. So I've also tried it on, I must tell you, and now that they're donating it to the traffic police, hopefully we'll save some hairs also, not just lives.
But I think, we want you to take the first one as a, no, at least keep it. But I think it was very sweet of them. To me, apart from innovation, values matter. And the fact that they came on their own to say that we want to donate things is something that I feel very much about. So thank you, Kaustubh. Keep doing, and of course, we'll keep supporting and helping you as we always do. Thank you.
Okay,
thank you.
Just pose with them for the camera.
Yeah.
For the camera for a second. I'm not going to wear it, please. Thank you, guys. Now for the media. I think even media, for those of you with hot heads, you need this. Maybe they'll ask the right question.
But this is a really, great initiative. Young students from the state thinking about solving, talk of impact. This is going to have a lot of impact in our communities. Go ahead, Kaustubh, all the best. The second one is a small vote of thanks. Dheeraj, where are you? I want you to give it. Young man from the state, an enormous artist. This is what he's giving to you. It's a pink pencil, and the lead of the pencil he has carved and written KTR. And he chose pink. It's an amazing, the creativity of young people in this state just is mind-blowing.
How do you prepare them? With hands. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Incredible. Incredible. I mean, look at this. Look at this.
Yeah. Beautiful it is.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
thank you everybody for being here. I think many of these startups will be available if you want to talk to them. So please go ahead and interact with them, learn what they're doing and support them. Thank you.